appreciate everybody being here tonight. I fully realize we got a big basketball game that people would like to get home to. So, and I think we do have a fairly brief ceremony tonight with our track teams at the All-State meet. We're short 2 coaches, so they both prepared. They wanted to prepare a video, but they prepared a statement. I'll just read their statement about their awards, so it'll kind of hustle things through a little bit. I know everybody would like to get home for the Celtics, so. I want to start by saying thank you to our superintendent, former superintendent Chris Malone, and our current superintendent Brenda Regan for their support. They've been fantastic. Our business manager Dave Libby provides us with all the resources that we need to succeed. You know, anything we ask for, he's great to get for us, and he makes it happen. Mrs. O'Hare in the athletic department, she's really the heartbeat of what happens here. She's fantastic. Our high school administration, Mr. Bernard's been here for 2 years. He is retiring on June 30th. He's been a tremendous leader in a tough spot for us. He's been a friend, a mentor, he's a great guy. I am fortunate to have worked for him. He's a former superintendent. He's seen a lot and super polished with his communication, and John's been great, and I wish him nothing but the best. Look forward to working with Mr. Long from the Wynn Middle School as our new principal starting on July 1. Our school committee has been fantastic to work with. Our custodians here at the high school, Roland Patterson and Chris O'Brien and Patrick, are fantastic. John Marchand's crew, the maintenance staff that maintains our fields and courts, and are excellent. Chris Mahana, I can't thank him enough. It keeps all you guys healthy. Keeps everybody safe. He does a fantastic job for us. Our contest managers, Bob McCabe, the former longtime hockey coach here, PE teacher here that covers a lot of our games. Leo Duraco handles softball. Doc's a longtime coach here. And then Lenny Hunnell, I would be remiss in not saying thank you to those guys. They're fantastic. Jamie Pote with the Town Crier, Lowell Sun, gets you guys coverage that's above and beyond what most towns, communities get. Jamie's fantastic, loves high school athletics, it's great. Our guys with the cable company, Brian Dorrington and Jason Marshall, have been fantastic, especially as we got through the, awesome. Especially as we got through the pandemic. Those guys were tremendous for us. Let's see what we can do here. Those guys were great for us. So I can't say thank you enough. Along with Jason and Brian, Andrew Delapiana has been fantastic. Getting us through, TV, games on TV and calling them, and he's been just a godsend. Our coaches work hard. They really do. They put their time in. We do not have a lot of coaches that I think coach for 10 weeks a year. I think we have a lot of 10, 11, 12-month coaches that work hard, use the weight room, are advocates for their student athletes. I'm proud of the staff we have. I think they do a tremendous job. Our athletes, we have great kids. We really do. We have great kids here at this high school. Very, very evident today with our Special Olympics that we ran. Our Captain's Council and a lot of our captains and best buddies kids ran the Tewksbury Special Olympics Fun Day today, and they were just fantastic making that happen for those kids. Very, very proud to see how our kids stepped up for others today, and they do it all the time. It's great to see. Our parents have been tremendous. Again, through the pandemic, and I said this in the winter, I said it in the fall, through the pandemic, I've gotten 0 calls, complaints, 0, from angry. Parents have been tremendous. This is a very, very passionate sports town. It's a very, very passionate community. Care a lot about athletics. I take that very seriously in the position that I'm in. I understand that. I can wrap my head around that it's important here in this community, and I appreciate the support from all the parents. You guys have been great. You really have. This spring, We had 290 roster slots. That's about 37% of our student body, right around where we normally are. Our highs are usually around 41 or 42%. Our lows are around 35%. We were around 37%. So right kind of in the ballpark of where we generally are with participation. We participated in over 200 contests and championships. We had 4 tournament qualifying teams. We had a league champion. We had a sportsmanship award winner. We had numerous league all-conference and all-stars. And quite honestly, all of those meetings haven't been done yet, haven't been taken care of yet. So some of the sports are going to receive all-stars and all-conference stuff tonight. For example, baseball's is Sunday. So some of those meetings haven't taken place yet, okay? We had a 100-goal scorer. We had a coach of the year. We had 3 state champions. And from last June to this June, Tewksbury High School has played in and hosted more state tournament games, neutral site games, MIA contest events than any high school in Massachusetts. That's a fact. So give yourself a round of applause. That gets back to, when the community did this project here at the high school, they did it right. We have a beautiful facility. It's well thought of across the state. We run good events here. We have great venues here with the high school, with Doucette. Hockey, breakaway was tremendous to us. We hosted a bunch of games there. We did first time we handled a wrestling tournament. Tremendous. So with that said, I'd like to get started. As I said earlier, we have a good handful of kids that are participating in the Meet of Champions, the MIA All-State Meet, and Coach Wilson and Coach Cusick are at that meet with our athletes competing in the All-State Meet. So I will start with boys track. Coach Wilson has prepared a statement. So, boys track team finished 2-2 this year in a year of very inconsistent performance due to injuries and absence. I decided it was most appropriate to give 3 awards based on the things that I value most as a coach with any part of any team having success. I wanted to choose athletes that make our team better. We certainly had individuals with tremendous success on the track, and they will get the recognition for that. But these people did it on the track and also with the attitude that made it a joy to come to practice every day. All our boys worked hard, cheered on their teammates, and were willing to do anything to make the team succeed. My 3 choices for Coaches Awards start with my first senior, Eric Impink. Eric performed well this year in our throwing events and scored points in all 4 dual meets. What's more impressive about Eric is he's a fine young man. He is someone willing to help underclassmen at practice, someone hanging around and supporting the JV athletes after his event is finished, and someone who's just great to be around all the time. You can win a lot of track meets with guys like Eric, who generally care about his teammates, someone who puts together tremendous effort every practice and every meet. One of my Coaches Award, Eric Impink. Second choice for Coaches Award is Will Humphrey. He performed well both throwing the jab and also running on the track. Will had a PR in each meet in the 400 and has continued to get better and better at how he runs this race. He did a great job improving on throwing the jab and saw improvement in this area as well. Will scored 17 points in the season and was a big part of our 2 wins. The thing that myself and the other coaches appreciated most about Will was his desire to compete. He would finish running the 400 with very little rest in between races, and he was the first to raise his hand and offer to run a relay to win the meet. I think he's going to have a tremendous senior season next year, and his leadership will be an invaluable part of our team's success. My second Coaches Award goes to Will Humphrey. My third choice for Coaches Award is Jack Callahan. Many know Jack as a state champion wrestler who has a ton of success on the mat this winter. What I love about Jack is he shows up for track and competes as if it was his first love. He works hard at practice, runs hard in meets, and never gets down on how things are going. Jack turned himself into a really good pole vaulter, finishing seventh in the Division IV state meet. Jack also scored in 3 of 4 meets. Bottom line, he's just one of the greatest kids to coach, a high-character kid who works hard and supports his teammates. Jack will be returning next year and will need to continue to be a leader in his way to help this team win a league championship. I apologize for not being here, but I want to wish everybody well. My third Coach's Award, Jack Callahan. Come on, Jack. Come on, Jack. Come on, Will. Girls, when I call your name, you guys can come up, right? We don't have to wait till we're done, all right? Okay, Coach Cusick. Getting old, the font is hard to read. I need glasses. All right, here we go. The girls' track team had a very successful season. They went 2-2 in dual meets, beating Lawrence and Chelmsford and losing to Drake and Billerica. Team finished 7th out of 45 teams in the Division IV state meet and 6th at the state relay meet. A nice way to finish up our season. My first Coach's Award goes to Victoria Allen. This is an athlete who's done 12 seasons of track and cross country for Tewksbury. Last year we were in need of more throwers, and she made the transition from runner to thrower. This has been a really successful move for her and for our program, as she has developed into one of the best throwers as well as a top thrower in the MVC. She's a hard worker, great teammate, and someone who stepped up in a lot of the big moments. My first Coach's Award goes to Victoria Allen. The next Coach's Award is going to someone who is also a 12-season athlete in track and cross country. She's one of the top students in her senior class, and to my knowledge has never missed a practice or a meet. This individual has typically been a 200, 400 runner, but this year she has transitioned to being more of a 100-meter runner and has ended up being a crucial part of our 4x100 relay team that placed 3rd in the MVC championships and the Division IV meet. This netted her an MVC All-Star Award. As a teammate, she leads by example. She's extremely humble, hardworking, and completely dedicated to helping our team win. My second Coach's Award goes to my son, Nguyen. Most valuable player. This is going to someone who was one of the best all-around athletes at the school. She joined the track team last year and immediately made a big impact as a freshman. This season, she continues to grow and immediately made a big impact as a freshman. This season, she has continued to grow and develop both as a runner and as a teammate. She placed 2nd in the MVC meet in both the 100-meter dash and the long jump. She helped our 4x100 team grab 3rd at the MVCs. At the Division IV meet, she finished 8th in the long jump, 9th in the 100, and helped our 4x100 team qualify for the All-State meet. As a teammate, she's an incredibly positive person who, despite being a very serious gymnast, is basically at every practice and meet on the spring track team. MVP was an easy choice, Amanda Ogden. Okay. Our first coach I'd like to bring up is our longtime girls tennis coach who does a fantastic job with our girls tennis team. One of the most respected coaches in the Merrimack Valley and in the area in tennis. Longtime tennis teacher, well thought of, still pretty serious competitor on the senior circuit. But she does a fantastic job with us and is a pleasure to be around all the time. One of the easiest coaches for me to work with day in and day out, Mary McDonald. Yeah. Did you go to the Nationals? Did you go to the National Championship over there?
Not as a senior. Yeah, it's okay. All right. I wanted to start by thanking Abby Culhane, our JV coach. She does a great job with all the new players, and the program benefits greatly because of her hard work and dedication. I also wanted to thank Heather and Jim Burns for their support of the tennis program all the time. The members of the tennis team were very busy this year and involved in the TMHS community. I had to shorten practice on the day of National Honor Society induction because every junior and senior on the team had to be there. Best in Show at the art show went to one of our captains, and the only female member of the robotics team also plays tennis. The girls team finished 7-9 this year. We had 2 season-ending injuries during the last week, and that's what kept us out of the playoffs. So we just ended up a bit short. We had a really great group of seniors this year. I wish them all the best. UConn, UMass, and WPI are lucky to get them, and I have no doubts they will all succeed in their chosen path. Their hard work and dedication set a great example for the younger players, and we had a lot of fun. The Coaches Award this year goes to 2 seniors who worked hard, improved their skills, and played every match with determination and focus. One of the highlights of the season for me, and I hope for them, was being down 2-5 in the final set of their last match and coming back to win. Coaches Award, Fiona Ho and Natalie Wynn.
They won the last 4?
They were down 2-5 in the third set and won the match.
Very nice.
The first singles player on the team plays against the best player on every team we play. Our first singles player this year was 3rd singles last year. She worked on her game and earned the first singles spot this year. She has a great understanding of the game, she works hard, and her future is very bright. This year's MVP, Renuka Latte. Pretty good. Thank you. Didn't need my glasses. You're welcome.
Our next coach is our boys tennis coach, Rick Keane, and Coach Keane did a fantastic job this year. He really did. He kind of got dealt a tough hand where a lot of his players were members of the play, and he didn't really have full access to his team until the later half of the season, and you know, continue to make it work, trying to have kids going back and forth from the play to tennis to the play to tennis, and did a good job juggling that, and you know, did the best he could with kind of getting a hand that really wasn't ideal, and he did a good job with that. So, Coach Rick Keane.
All right. First of all, I'd like to thank Ron and his staff for this season, always giving us support. They're always behind us, doing a great job for us. So we appreciate everything that they do. This season, like Ron said, we had a tough go in the beginning, but the boys actually had a really good year. They finished 4-8 on the year. And, you know, considering what was going on with early in the season, they did a really great job. That, and we also had 15 players join the team, which was a big plus for us. Last year, we only had 2 players, and they scrambled to get a team together, so it was really great to have 15 players on board. We do have a lot of young players that joined, so we're looking forward to building this year up and getting a good year next year. So, moving into my first award. This first player, he worked really hard in the off season. Came in with probably one of the best backhands I've seen in the 6 years I've been coaching. He has been instrumental in helping us organize all of our captains' practices, and he even continues to do so even today. So he, on and off the court, this athlete is a true inspiration. My Coach's Award this year goes to Captain Winbow. Moving forward, on to my MVP award. I often say, like Mary had said, the #1 singles role in the team is understandably the toughest role to play. Every match you enter, you're up against the best of the best, and I guess that's the price you pay for being the best player on the team. This athlete definitely lived up to that role, giving everything he had in every match, right down to the final point. I have had the honor and privilege to have this player on my team since his freshman year to his senior year, and to have been able to watch him grow into an amazing tennis player. My MVP award this year goes to Captain Brady Litton. That's it, buddy. Perfect.
Our next coach is a very well thought of teacher here at the building. Has grown our numbers in our girls lacrosse program. Love the fact that this winter they made a commitment to the weight room, try to get themselves stronger, trying to do the right things to help our program grow. Her numbers are getting there, and their commitment levels, you know, the work was put in. You know, we just got to get the stick in people's hands a little bit more, you know, but I think we're trending in the right direction. And Coach Murph's a reason why that we're going in that direction. So our girls lacrosse coach, Erin Murphy.
Good evening. First, I would like to thank Athletic Director Ron Druin, Nancy O'Hare, and trainer Chris Mahana. We had a number of injuries this year, definitely more than we would like to have, and Chris was always there to try and get us back on the field as quickly as we could. We improved on our record this year from last year to 5 wins, but we had a lot of other games that were really competitive, only losing by 1 or 2 goals, so it was really nice to be competitive against some really strong teams that we face in the MVC. I have 2 awards to give out today, MVP and Coach's Award. These are never easy for me to give out, as I wish I could recognize all of my players for the hard work that they do. This senior class especially is very important to me because they were my first JV team, their 8th grade year, and then played for me all 4 years on varsity, so it'll be really sad to see them go. So my first award is my Coach's Award. This player is one of the hardest working kids I've ever come across, and would put her work ethic and level of commitment to athletics and team sports up against any athlete here today. She's always the last one to leave practice or a game, making sure the field is clean. The ball bag and med kit are brought to my car, and just is an overall encouraging presence on and off the field. These were some qualities that we saw in the first week of practice, which is why we named her our 3rd captain of the season. But more than that, the effort that she puts on the field is unmatched. Often defensive players don't get the recognition they deserve, as you can't see those stats on the scoreboard. But she was instrumental in a lot of our wins and keeping us competitive in some really tough games. She throws her whole body on the field and causes turnovers that none of us would really even see coming. For this, she was given our Brick Wall Defense Award at our team banquet, and I really could go on and on about how great I think this player is as an athlete and a person. But I encourage you to go see her play yourself in soccer or basketball or lacrosse. She's phenomenal. And this year, my Coach's Award goes to Victoria Catanzano. My next award is my MVP award. This player is one of the ones that have been with me for 5 years and definitely has a special place in my heart. She's been my draw control specialist every year, and I believe she really found her groove this year with 100 draw controls. That is a lot. For those of you that don't know lacrosse, that's a lot of draw controls. She's a force on the field at all ends, not afraid to take the tough shots, make the tough passes, and take risky checks on defense. These characteristics as a player have led her to some big achievements this year. She scored her 100th career goal, which is something only 5 or 6 players have done in the history of this program, and she was able to do it in only 2.5 seasons. Her totals for the season were 65 goals, 18 assists, 36 ground ball controls, 17 forced turnovers, and the already mentioned 100 draw controls. She's a 2-time second-team all-conference player, received my coach's award her freshman year, and back-to-back playmaker awards at our team banquet. There is no doubt this player was an asset to the team on the field and valuable to me as a captain her senior year. We'll definitely miss her, but we wish her the best of luck at Boston University. Our MVP award goes to Katie Palomino.
Along with being the team MVP, Katie and Jess Driscoll happen to do their senior project in the athletic department. So if you are at the senior project tomorrow and you're going to see the displays, they did a fantastic athletic department promotional video for sports. Excellent job with the video. So stop in, watch the video. It's got every sport, every facility, interviews with coaches. They were fantastic. So stop in tomorrow if you're going to visit the senior projects. Check their video. They did a great job. Our next coach, and again, Coach Murph hit on a little bit. I could make an argument that lacrosse in the Merrimack Valley is as unbalanced as any sport in the conference. You have some super, super high-level teams. You have some teams that, like us, that are trending in the right direction, working to get to that next level, and you got some teams that struggle. And there's a big imbalance in the Merrimack Valley in lacrosse. The higher end teams are some of the top teams in the entire state, which makes lacrosse in this conference very, very difficult. And our girls program made a stride to get better this year, and our boys program made a stride to get better this year. Their level of play was better. The way they carried themselves day in and day out was better. And improvement, and we got to keep making those improvements each season in all our sports. And this guy did a good job making that jump from year 1 to year 2, and hopefully we see it again next year. Our boys head lacrosse coach, Anthony Pontus.
All right, so thank you to everyone for coming out tonight. I'd like to thank Chris. I'd like to thank all my assistants. I'd like to thank all the parents, most importantly, for coming out and supporting all of our games. So we finished our season with 4 wins, which is an improvement from last year. I think it doesn't accurately portray how much we improved, both on and off the field. We had multiple guys elevate their game, including our goalie this year, who he finished with over 200 saves in the season, which is incredibly impressive. He's not here tonight, but Skylar Sheeting, he had a great season. So we also improved not only on the field, but our attitudes as well. So we changed our attitudes about the game, about towards the other team, towards the refs, and most importantly, towards each other. We really started to try to build a culture within the lacrosse program that's a winning culture, that's going to last for past this year, and that started with our seniors. That started with our 2 guys who are getting the awards tonight. So with that, I'm going to go into our coaches award. So this player who's getting the coaches award he's the definition of a coachable player. I mean, he's always listening. He's always asking the right questions. He's always saying, the only response I ever get from him is, yes, coach. I never catch any attitude or anything. He was always one of the first to show up and the last to leave every day. Always getting extra work on the field after practice, getting some extra shots up in the weight room. If I needed someone to get the players fired up during a game, or even during practice, if I needed the guys to get a little more locked in during practice, he's the first one to say something, first one to get the guys going. He's a kid that I'm definitely going to miss as a captain, as a leader, and definitely as a player on the field as well. He's a great captain, an even better person. My captain's award goes to Jason Cook. So my MVP award, so this player, he did a lot for us on offense and defense at times. He's a versatile player. He played multiple positions for us, both attack and midfield. He was always looking to try to find the open man. He was looking to distribute the ball, and that's why he led our team in assists and in points. He would love to throw his no-look passes that he knows I love so much. It's my favorite thing, is no-look passes. But he had a great season on and off the field. He was a great captain for us, and he even ended the season strong. He had 3 goals and 3 assists in only one half of a game, which is an incredible feat for only half of a game. He's a great athlete. He's a kid with a very bright future, whether it's in this sport or in hockey. My MVP goes to Caden Connors.
With Jason and Caden coming up, we have, I want to make sure that we point out that, Alec Cranston and Myson were our scholar athletes this year, the highest academic student athletes in the building. So let's get them a round of applause. We have other major award winners in the building tonight. Jess Driscoll was Outstanding Female Athlete. Katie Palomino received one of our leadership awards. Maddie Stovesand received one of our major awards. Andrew Delapiana received the Athletic Director's Choice Award. Am I missing anybody? I'm trying to rifle through the crowd quickly. I got everybody? Anybody else? All the major award? If anybody's up for the majors? I got Maddie. I got Deli. Good. Okay. Our next team is our baseball team and Coach Momblow. And here's a team that started off 1-8, and the boat was rocking and taking on water, and those guys kept everything afloat and just stayed positive day after day, and it turned. If you believe it can happen, it can happen. And they stayed positive all the way through, and when the water got rocky, they just stayed the course, and it turned, and they've won 9 out of their last 11. Qualified for the tournament at 10-10, and we'll be making the long ride next Tuesday to West Springfield High School. But great season by these guys. Coach Momblow has been a tremendous leader for these guys, and I couldn't be happier for the baseball team and the way they've stayed the course. So best of luck moving forward. Our baseball coach, Kirk Momblow.
All right, good evening, everybody. I want to start off by saying thank you to Coach Ron Druin for the ongoing support. I don't think I'm speaking for myself when I say that if there's anything we need, officials, buses, equipment, or advice, he's always there for us. I want to thank my coaching staff, my sub-varsity guys, Coach Bigdahl and Coach Ratty, especially Coach Callahan. We text and talk to each other probably more than my wife wants to deal with, but he's always there to help me out as well, so I want to give him a special shout out to him. I want to thank the parents for all that you do. You guys never get enough recognition or credit for all that you do for our athletes. I want to congratulate all the athletes this year, not just the baseball team, especially the upperclassmen who have endured more hardship than any other group of athletes who have come through Tewksbury after missing a year because of COVID, mask regulations, altered schedules. So kudos to all the athletes tonight for sticking it out and seeing it through. As for our special awards, we have some young men who are receiving awards for MVP and Coaches Award. I unfortunately cannot give out awards to all of my players. The decisions to pick these recipients was really, really difficult. We have guys that are great leaders. We have guys that work super hard and do have a lot of those intangibles. So it was a really, really difficult decisions to make. But to all of you that are here, please understand that you all have played a tremendous role in our success. Sometimes in life you won't get the recognition you deserve, but please know that your hard work, dedication, and execution on the field has not gone unnoticed. First Coach's Award goes to a player who didn't see the field every day, but when he did, he made an impact. He was our go-to guy as a relief pitcher and earned 2 wins on the mound during a difficult stretch of games. Guys who have a role like Drew are invaluable to a team's success. Our first Coach's Award goes to Drew Nestor. The next Coach's Award goes to a senior who has been with the program for 4 years. He began as a freshman who barely spoke to us and now is an invaluable captain. He's not the most vocal guy we have, but he effectively communicates with the teammates and shows tremendous support for them too, constantly celebrating their victories while trying to improve on his own performance. He is reliable and accountable. David Miller is our next Coach's Award recipient. As Coach Druin mentioned earlier, we've had a really successful turnaround of the program. And we have, again, not to get overly redundant, but numerous guys who really, really help with the success. I wish I could give, these awards to every one of our guys because they are all a huge piece of the puzzle. But we have one more guy receiving an award for us. Lastly, our MVP is a guy who's a great example of how important hard work is. Baseball is a sport that is not really won during the season in practice, but it's one sort of behind the scenes. Guys need to hit the weight room, work on their craft behind the scenes in the off season. I've been coaching high school baseball since about 2008, and I haven't witnessed too many players who have made as many strides as this young man in improving his game. He gave us a shot to win every time he stepped on the mound and is a huge part of why our season is still going. Our 2022 MVP is Cody Legrand.
Our last team is our softball team, MVC2 League champion softball team. Great year from them. They had a little bit of a target on their back all year as they were highly thought of in the preseason and have carried that banner all year long to a number 2 seed in the power rankings. They will host the winner of Falmouth and Minnechaug on Tuesday at 4 o'clock. We kind of got the wrong end of some graduations there where one school's graduating Friday and one school's graduating Saturday, and they need to play Sunday, which is pushing us out and is not putting us in a great position as we head down that week, next week. But we may have to do some back-to-back stuff, and it jams us up with other schools having graduation. But this team has faced some back-to-back situations, has faced some multiple games in a week. Plenty of pitching on this team. Great year by this team. A lot of fun to be around. A lot of fun to watch. A lot of fun to see them in big situations continually deliver. This team's got a chance. This team's got a chance in this tournament. So, our girls softball team, our head coach Brittany Souza.
All right. I'd like to start by saying thank you to Athletic Director Ron Druin and the athletic department for all the continued support, to our parents who cheered us on so loyally, to my assistant coaches Tanya and Georgie for the hours and hours and hours and hours of going back and forth about this team. And finally, thank you to all you wonderful athletes in the room on your ongoing commitment to our program. For those of you who don't know, our girls are back-to-back MVC D2 champs. And we finished with a record of 15-5 and are going, like Ron said, to compete in the States. Again, like Mom Below said, I wish I could give every single one of you girls an award. You all are a piece of this puzzle, and we say that every single day to you guys at practice. But for my coaches award, it's given annually to an athlete on the team who the coaches feel contributed to the team during the season. And in the 5 years I've been coaching here at Tewksbury, it was probably the easiest decision we had to make. After our week of tryouts, we had one-to-one with team placements. Our coaching staff talked about this kid for days as to where to place her because of how much she hustled. She was always running around, picking up equipment, and giving 200%. Unfortunately, at the time, we were limited numbers and had conversation that she would swing between JV and varsity. She accepted it with a smile on her face, but continued to work endlessly in practice to a point where we just couldn't see putting a kid that works that hard on JV. Her hustle alone just earned her a spot on our varsity roster. Needless to say, the girl has played every role we've asked her to play: DH, third base, left field, pinch hitter, and all comes up in big moments for our season every single time she was put in the situation. And to top it off, when she wasn't playing, she was cheering on her teammates till she was blue in the face. It was an easy decision that this year's 2022 Coaches Award goes to sophomore Aslan Davis. The MVP award for softball is awarded to the player who, in the eyes of the team, contributes greatly to team cohesiveness, exemplifies a consistent effort and to earn a victory, gives 100% both offensively and defensively, and offers an undue amount of spirit and concern for the team. This player should also display the utmost integrity on and off the field toward opponents, officials, spectators, coaches, and teammates. These qualities combine to create the most important aspect for selecting an MVP. This year, they were a 1-2 punch, the dynamic duo, the heart and soul of this team. They fed off each other's energy and amped each other up. We wouldn't be where we are today without either of them. They had the top 2 batting averages on the team, led the team in hits, slugging percentage, on-base percentage, doubles, triples, and home runs. Both were named first team all-conference this year, and the 2022 MVP goes to junior captains, pitcher Sam Ryan and catcher Sam Perkins. Oh boy, they're both good. Such perfect. Thank you. Congrats. Congrats.
Okay, just a few more things, and we can wrap this up. We have a couple awards that were given out at the league level for some of the meetings, some of the end-of-the-year meetings that have taken place. In boys tennis, we received the MVC Jason Crago Sportsmanship Award, and that was awarded to Winbo. Come on up, Win. At the softball meeting, I want to congratulate MVC2 Coach of the Year, Brittany Souza. I will work backwards. We had some other all-conference players. I will start with the second team ones. Second team all-conference for girls lacrosse, Katie Palomino. Second team all-conference for girls lacrosse, Jessica Driscoll. Second team all-conference for softball, Rebecca Harris. Second team all-conference for softball, Whitney Gigante. You guys want to stay up here, please? We have some first team all-conference. First team all-conference for softball, Samantha Perkins. First team all-conference for softball, Samantha Ryan. Sam got it right this time. All six together? Quickly, you want to believe that in the position that I'm in, we service the whole league, and we want to make sure that we service all our kids, and we treat all the kids fairly. You want to believe that sometimes, that most of the time, you're going to get it right, that the league is going to get it right as a whole. I'm not sure softball got it right the other night. How one of the Sams wasn't the player of the year is mind-blowing to me. Mind-blowing. The girl they put for the player of the year is a tremendous young lady, and I don't want to take anything away from her. But her team didn't win a game. How is the player of the year on a team that doesn't win a game? And it's just... Congratulations to the young lady who won the award, but how do you give the player of the year to a kid on a team that doesn't win a game? That blows me away. And I made that crystal clear today at the athletic directors meeting. Crystal clear. I give you my word on that. That one did not go over well. I just don't get it. I can't wrap my head around that. You didn't win any games with her. How's she the player of the year? If she wasn't there, you still wouldn't have won any games. I don't get it. And she's a great kid. She's a good player. But how are you player of the year? Come on. Anyways, with that said, I want to wish you guys the best, right? We have senior week next week. Softball, I promise you guys I will do the best I can, but I cannot promise you we will not be playing back-to-back next week based on the fact that graduation took place. I'm doing what I can, but I can't promise you I'm going to win, okay? Senior week, next week. Let's make sure we finish up right? We started today with the Special Olympics. Everybody did the right thing. It was a tremendous event today. It's going to start to carry into tomorrow to senior projects. Then next week, we got the prom on Monday, right? We should have a movie night next week. We should have the harbor cruise next week. Then we got practice on Thursday, and then we get graduation on Friday. That pretty much looks like how it goes, right, seniors? G, I'm right on the money? Okay. Let's make sure we finish up the right way. Let's make sure we do the right thing. Let's make sure we get out and support our baseball team and our softball team. Let's make sure we finish up, do the right thing. Let's get everybody home for the Celtics. Thank you very much for coming out.